Samantala dinamdam nga ni Senator Robin Padilla ang naging pahayag ng pamangkin nitong si Bella Padilla patungkol sa kinasasangkutan nitong isyu. Ayon sa balita nagdamdam at sinabihan umano ni Robin na walang karapatan si Bella na pagsalitaan siya ng pabalang dahil pinakinabangan din daw siya ng aktres noong hindi pa ito kilala sa industriya ng showbiz. Simula nga daw ngayon ay hindi na niya itinuturing na pamangkin si Bella dahil sa kawalan nito ng respeto sa kanya bilang tito.
Kapag narinig natin ang ICC o International Criminal Court sa balita, lagi nating narinig ang depensa ng gobyerno. Sovereign country tayo, bawal silang mangialam. Pero ano nga ba talaga ang ibig sabihin ng soberanya? Ito ba ay tunay na panangga para protektahan tayong mga Pilipino? O ginagawa lang itong palusot ng mga nasa pwesto para makatakas sa pananagutan? Ngayong araw, hihimayin natin sa mas madaling salita ang isyu ng pambansang kalayaan laban sa pandaigdigang batas. Gagamit tayo ng tatlong matalas na lens: ang political theology ni Carl Schmitt, ang perpetual peace ni Immanuel Kant, at ang the right to have rights ni Hannah Arendt. Ang soberanya ba ay isang pader na hindi pwedeng tibagin? O may limitasyon ito kapag buhay ng mga tao ang nakataya? Simulan natin kay Carl Schmitt para intindihin kung bakit ayaw ng gobyerno sa ICC. Ang teorya niya ay umiikot sa tanong na, sino ba ang tunay na may hawak na kapangyarihan? Ayon sa kanya, ang soberanya ay ang kapangyarihang magdeklara ng tinatawag na exception o yung otoridad na baliwalain ang batas kapag sinabi ng namumuno na kailangan ito para sa kaligtasan ng bansa. Sa madaling salita, kapag ginagamit ng Estado ang sovereignty card para harangan ang panlabas na investigasyon, ang mensahe nila ay, kami ang batas dito at walang ibang bansa o korte ang pwedeng sumita sa amin. Ang pagtingin nila sa soberanya ay isang absolutong kapangyarihan kung saan ang pagpasok ng ICC ay direktang pagbawas sa pagiging boss ng mga lokal na politiko. Dito papasok ang pananaw ng ICC gamit ang teorya ni Immanuel Kant. Para kay Kant, meron tayong tinatawag na cosmopolitan right. Ibig sabihin nito, bago ka pa man maging Pilipino o Amerikano o Hapon, ikaw muna ay isang tao. Dahil tao ka, may universal ka na karapatan na hindi pwedeng bawiin ng kahit na anong gobyerno. Ang ICC ay ginawa dase sa ideyang ito. Sinasabi ng international na batas na may mga krimen tulad ng malawakang pagpatay na sobrang lala kaya hindi lang ito kasalanan sa loob ng Pilipinas, kundi krimen laban sa buong sangkatauhan. Para kay Kant, ang pakikiisa sa pandaigdigang batas ay hindi paliging sunod-sunuran sa mga dayuhan. Ito ay pag-level up natin bilang isang sibilisadong bansa na may respeto sa buhay. Pangatlo ay ang pinakamamagat na realidad gamit ang ideya ni Hannah Arendt. Napansin ni Arendt ang isang malaking paradox o isang sitwasyon na nakakalito dahil parang magkasalungat. Ang paradox ay ito. Sinasabi natin may human rights ang lahat ng tao sa mundo, pero umaasa lang tayo sa sarili nating gobyerno para ibigay at protektahan ito. Ang malaking tanong sa political science, paano kung ang mismong gobyerno na dapat magtanggol sa iyo ang siya mismong inaakusahang pumapatay sa mga kababayan mo? Kapag walang magawa ang mga lokal na korte, saan pa tatakbo ang ordinaryong tao? Dito nagiging kailangan ng isang supranational court tulad ng ICC o isang korte na mas mataas sa pamahalaan ng bansa para siguruhin may magtatanggol sa iyo kapag nalalakuran ka ng sarili mong estado. Kung sa tingin ninyo ay mahalaga ang mga objektibong diskursong ginagawa natin dito, huwag kalimutang i-follow ang account na ito at i-share ang ating content para mas marami pa tayong maabot na mga be. Sa teorya ng agham pampolitika, ang soberanya ay ibinibigay sa isang bansa bilang isang kalasag para protektahan ang mga ordinaryong mamamayan laban sa mga panlabas na banta. At hindi bilang isang pader para pagtakpan ang mga panloob na pang-aabuso ng mga nakaupo sa pwesto. Ngayon kayo naman, kung ang pinakaubod ng kalayaan ng ating bansa ay ang pagtatanggol sa buhay at karapatan ng bawat Pilipino, tama ba at rasyonal na gamitin ang mismong salitang soberanya bilang panusot para harangan ang pag-alam sa katotohanan sa likod ng libo-libong pinatay na kababayan natin? Stay classy, stay loud, dahil ang tunay na tagapaglingkod ay hindi takot harapin ang hustisya at katotohanan. Bye.
Ito po ang ating pahayag patungkol sa pangyayari sa Senado kagabi. Mga bandang 4:00 ng hapon kahapon, May 13, nagsagawa ng live stream si Senator Bato de la Rosa sa kanyang official Facebook account na umano'y aarestuhin siya. Sinundan ito ng mensahe ni Office of the Sergeant at Arms, Retired Police Major General Mau Aplaska sa media na may aarestuhin sa Senado. Ilang minuto pagkatapos nito, ang mga tauhan ng OSAA ay may nakita umanong NBI agents sa property ng GSIS. Ang Senate ay umuukupa sa ilang bahagi ng GSIS property. Isang bridge ang nag-uugnay sa opisina ng GSIS at opisina ng Senado. Ang susi upang mabuksan ang pintuan mula sa Senate papunta sa bridge na konektado sa GSIS ay hawak ng OSAA o Senado. Si GM Wick Veloso ng GSIS ay humingi ng assistance sa NBI para masecure ang kanilang premises. Ito po ay pinasinayaan ni NBI Director Atty. Matibag. Kaya nagpadala ng NBI agent sa GSIS premises bandang alas 6 ng gabi. Pinagbigyan ito ng NBI at sa puntong ito gusto nating linawin. Una, walang assault na ginawa ang NBI agents sa Senado. At pangalawa, walang operasyon ang NBI o PNP na arestuhin si Senator Bato. Pero bago nito, noong nakita ng OSAA na mayroong NBI agent sa GSIS, katabi ng Blue Guard, nakita na agad na naka-gear up ang OSAA. Nag-vest at naghanda sa isang operasyon. Pagdating sa bridge sa GSIS premises, tinanong ng OSAA ang NBI agent na nakaupo, lamang kasama nga ang isang Blue Guard ng GSIS. Nagpakilala na NBI agents at nung nagsabi sila ng kanilang pagkakakilanlan, agad nagpaputok ng warning shot si Sergeant at Arms Mau Aplaska. At dahil doon, napilitan ding magpaputok ng warning shot ang NBI agent. As of 11:09 a.m., several sources confirmed that the Senator Bato, is no longer in the Senate premises. But we are still getting official confirmation on the report. At para po mabigyan tayo ng detalye, makakasama po natin si NBI Director Attorney Melvin Matibag at PNP Chief General Jose Melencio Nartates Jr. Magandang umaga po sa inyo lahat.
Magandang umaga. Maraming salamat po, Yusek Claire Castro, at magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. Yung pong sinabinanggit ni Yusek Claire Castro was exactly what transpired during po nung araw na yan kahapon po. No? So, siguro po kung meron lang mga katanungan, I will be willing to address your questions po.
Magandang umaga po sa atin lahat. Salamat sa pagkakataong ito. Nakikita nyo naman ang NBI Director at ang Philippine National Police na aking pinamumunuan. Magkatabi ngayon. And so, ito po yung ating iimbestigahan, lalong-lalo na yung nangyari kagabi, early morning last night. And so, we are coordinating such that we can go into the bottom of this case. And the personalities who are involved should be accounted and or fully investigated. Not only for the NBI, but of course, including the personalities, especially the security personnel at the building of the GSIS, as well as the GSIS building being occupied by the Senate Security, led by the Sergeant of Arms.
Ng tanong mula kay Maricel Halili, TV5.
Magandang umaga po. Sir, may we have more details about Senator Bato de la Rosa? Meron na po ba kayong nakuhang impormasyon na totoong nakalabas na siya ng Senate premises? Sino po yung kasama niya na nakalabas? Paano po siya nakaalis at nasaan po siya ngayon?
Sino po ba? Well, gaya po ng sinabi ng ating pong Yusek Claire Castro, we have yet to validate kung ano po yung report. Baka maganda po sa Senate po natin itanong, sa Senado, sa Office of the SecGen, at po sa OSAA din po, dahil sila po ang makakakita talaga kung may actual po na paglabas o pag-alis po ni Senator Bato. Umaasa rin po kami sa aming mga nangarinig na balita at lumalabas po sa social media.
But may we know kung ano po yung directives ni President Marcos when it comes to arresting Senator Bato?
If you're referring po dun sa kahapon, wala naman, ang gaya po ng sinabi ko sa aking mga pahayag doon pa man, na wala pong instruction na arestuhin. Katunayan, kausap ko po buong araw si Secretary Bida ng DOJ kung saan po napapaloob ang National Bureau of Investigation. At ang sabi lang po, respondihan namin yung kahilingan ng GSIS, subalit hindi kami mag-a-approach kahit po nga dumaan doon si Senator Bato ay ang ano namin is to monitor sapagkat alam po ni naman nating lahat na mayroon pong kaso na ongoing ngayon sa Supreme Court at wala man pong TRO pero from the point of view of lawyers po gaya ng DOJ, 3 araw lang, 72 hours po yung binigay na palugit para po sumagot yung kampo ng gobyerno at yung kampo ni Senator Bato. Kaya ang tingin po natin dito ay magkakaroon kaagad ng mabilisang resolution po ang ating pong Korte Suprema na mas mabubutihin po natin na huwag muna pong kumilos ng hindi naaayon sa magiging direksyon po ng Korte. Ano po?
And sir, may we know kung sino po si Mel Oragon? Totoo po bang driver siya ng NBI? And bakit po siya may hawak na baril? Allowed po ba yun sa driver if that's the case?
Well, sa ngayon po, when binalidate po namin yung pong aming records ng aming po mga ahente at mga employees, siya po ay hindi po opisyal na empleyado ng NBI. Ngunit nung aking pong nagkaroon na po ako ng sariling investigasyon, lumalabas po na siya ay parang volunteer kasama po ng mga ahente po. No? Doon po sa katanungan kung alaw humawak ng baril, yun po kasi yung nakita na naglalakad, pinahawak. Pero yung actual naman po na pangyayari, wala naman po siyang access po dun sa baril na hawak-hawak po niya.
So, sir, sorry, panghuli na lang. So, kasama po siya nung mga NBI
as a
agents na
driver po.
nag-assist sa GSIS?
As a driver po ng grupo po, yun po yung report sa akin ng mga NBI. But officially, he is not a member or employee po ng National Bureau of Investigation. Kasi po, sa mga operation po namin, just to educate po ang ating pong publiko, lahat po, pag operations po kasi, meron po talaga mga tinatawag na force multipliers, yung mga volunteer po. Para po kasi sa kakulangan po ng tao, tsaka meron po din kami tinatawag na mga alpha or assets, yan po na rin yung mga ginagamit namin to solicit intelligence report po para sa aming mga operations po.
Thank you, sir.
Salamat po.
Sunod na tanong mula kay Katrina Domingo, ABS-CBN.
Sir, ipinapavalidate lang po, yun po bang mga responde sa GSIS para i-secure or armed NBI agents?
Well, yung request po kasi sa amin na sulat na aking natanggap ng alas 5:08 PM po kahapon mula po kay GM Vic Veloso is to secure and panatilihin po yung kapayapaan and peace and order. So pag may request pong ganun, talaga pong nakabihis naman po ng ano tawag dito, yung pong kanilang ordinary gear na ganyan, dala po talaga yung mga ganyan na arms. Ano po?
Sir, bakit po may drilling involved? Can you categorically explain to the public bakit po may drilling involved?
Nakita ko rin po yung video na yan at kung makikita nyo naman po, yung mga suot ng tao nagdi-drill, hindi naman po pang assault. Ang nagdi-drill po, tinatanggal po nila yung lock because the access from the Senate going to GSIS, yung susi po, ang report po sa akin ni GM Veloso is nandoon po sa Senate. Ang gusto po niya, isara po yung lugar na yon kasi nga po, labas-masok na raw po ang iba't ibang tao. Hindi na po masecure yung lugar at yung mga employees. So yung primary concerns po niya. Kaya kung makita niyo po yung video, drilling, tapos hinarangan po ng mga metal cabinet para hindi po madaanan na yung lugar po na yon.
Sir, in a span of 3 days, 3 beses pong nalusutan, if that is the proper term, ni Senator Ronald De La Rosa ang NBI. First, hindi nahabol sa stairwell ng Senate. Pangalawa po, kahapon, supposedly, nagkagulo doon sa Senado and he was holed up in his office. At ngayon naman po, nakaalis sa Senate without the NBI knowing exactly kung nasan po yung senador. To what do you attribute these lapses or these discrepancies?
Hindi naman po siguro lapses. Ano po, there's our operational requirement po. Number 1, yun doon po sa Senado nung hindi po siya na-aresto. Naikwento ko na po yan eh. Kaya nga po ako humihiling ng buong kopya ng CCTV mula nung dumating siya sa parking kung kanino siya nakasakay na sasakyan hanggang sa pumasok. Dahil lang nakita na lang po nating video, yung takbuhan na lang yung habulan. Hindi po na ipakita ron na magsiserve na ng warrant, kakausapin na po si Senator Bato, tinakel niya po yung babaeng ahente. Kaya po nagkaroon ng takbuhan. At nung nagdeklara po ang Senado na protective custody nila si Senator Bato, minabuti po namin na irespeto yung sinabi na yun ng Senado sapagkat ang respeto po natin sa co-equal branch po na executive ay nandoon. Yung pong mga issue ng legal na wala namang ganong basihan, hindi na po natin po napag-uusapan. Kaya naman, nung dumating na po sa korte, na-validate naman din po yung naging desisyon ng NBI na wag pong arestuhin si Senator Bato. Ito naman pong pangalawa, ganoon na rin po yun, karugtong na meron pong pending na kaso sa Supreme Court and the strict instruction is wag pong arestuhin. And at the same time, ang gusto po ng ating pong pamahalaan, i-maintain na yung peace and order, mataas na po masyado yung po bang pagtatalo-talo, pag-aaway-away ng iba't ibang grupo. Ito naman po, hindi pa naman po validated kung talagang nakalis na po siya sa Senado at kung saan po nagpunta.
Sir, ma'am, sorry, last on my end for this round. Based on the premise or the timeline na nilatag po kanina ni Undersecretary Claire Castro, how convinced is the Executive Department doon sa mga swirling rumors na the chaos in the Senate yesterday was staged, allegedly?
Well, that is a part of an ongoing investigation. Ipinasok naman po lahat yan. Sa ngayon po, magkatulong po ang NBI at ang PNP. Re-reviewin po natin yung mga footages kung may mga CCTV at we will use po yung atin po mga forensic capabilities para malaman po natin kung ano po talaga yung nangyari. Ano po.
Sunod na tanong mula kay Ivan Mayrina, GMA
I address the question to the Chief PNP and the NBI Director. Sir, may we get a categorical answer related to sa tanong ni Katrina? Would you say that the incident at the Senate last night was staged for whatever reason?
Kaya po nung sinabi ko, Sir Ivan, yan po ay bahagi pa ng ating ongoing investigation. Ang mapari lang po naming mailahad sa inyo, yung pong inilahad din ni Yusek Claire Castro na factual kung paano po nangyari. We'd rather not draw conclusion po sa isang ongoing investigation, but rest assured po that we have final result of the investigation ay papaalam po natin to sa publiko.
Tama po yun. On the part of the Philippine National Police, katulad nung sinabi ko kanina, papasalamat ako, nandito ang ating Director NBI. In as much as the Philippine National Police, siya po ang maglilid ng investigation dito. And of course, we need to account kung sino ang may armas or sino ang security forces na nandun. Of course, meron tayong GSIS building security and nandyan na rin ang NBI na were requested to beef up the security at that building. As well as we have the GSIS building being occupied by the Senate. So, tinitignan natin yon. The security meron po tayong OSA security, meron tayong PSPG to beef up the security ng OSA. Actually, nagdagdag pa nga ng 10. Plus, security coming from the PSPG, these are the for VIPs, especially our senators. And security na uniform coming from the armed forces, particularly the Philippine Marines. So, one by one, we are accounting them. And accounting as well as the usual interview investigation. Nanguna na of course ang ating OSA and of course ang ating NBI nandito, and they will fully cooperate, especially in the usual investigation. And as of now, of course, there are about 20 personalities na nakita na. And these statements will be i-compare po natin sa mga ebidensya, like for example physical evidence, empty shells, lalo na yung ating CCTV footages.
Sir, yung chief ng OSAA, si Mr. Mau Aplaska, is he under investigation? Or at least have you heard his version kung bakit ho siya agad nagpaputok base doon sa narration ng events?
Yes, sir. The case is now being investigated by the Pasay Police Station, and in coordination and or with the CIDG. And the result is ibibigay namin as soon as na matapos po.
Sir, panghuli na lamang po. Lagi ho nababanggit na si Mr. Mau Aplaska, former police general as well, ay mista ni Senator Bato. Bilang isang PM mayor din po, tapos hindi maiwasang mamalisyahan, ika nga, na ngayon po nare-report that Senator Bato is already out of the Senate premises. Meron ho kayang relasyon, may kaugnayan ito, yung, the relationship of PM mayors and helping each other out?
Well, on my part, I'm a graduate of Philippine Military Academy. Pagdating sa organization yun, of course, doon ako natuto. But, isa sa mga natutunan natin is, of course, isa lang like investigator. Let no person deter you from the truth. And to ensure that justice is done.
Sir, last
And we
na lang
will
po.
ensure that.
Last na lang po kay Director Matibag. Sir, kahapon kagabi sa pahayag ng Pangulo, ang sabi niya, tinawagan niya agad kayo, tinanong niya, may NBI ba doon? Sinabi niyo po wala. Pero nabanggit niyo po ba sa kanya na nagpadala kayo ng tao sa GSIS?
Well, malinaw po yun. I think the President is referring to the Senate grounds kasi ang pumasok naman pong ulat talaga, nagbarilan sa Senado. Hindi po ba narinig naman po niyo yun? Tapos sabi ko, nung tinanong ako,
Wasn't
categorically...
that an important bit of information, sir, that the
Yes.
President would have...
Opo, I'm going there po, Sir,
Right.
Sir Ivan, I'm just laying down the premises. Pasensya na po kayo, po. Ang sinabi ko nga, I'm sure na wala po tayong tao sa Senate premises, sa Senate building po. Pero nag-request po si GM Vic Veloso na magpadala po ng NBI. So, yun po yung nangyari. Meron po tayong mga NBI doon po sa GSIS. Yun po yung sinabi ko. At yung sinabi ko pa nga, yung pong ibang NBI natin ay nasa labas po lang. At wala pong mga dalang armas. Po. Kasi yun po yung mga intel personnel po namin.
Salamat po.
So, tatanong mula kay Hannah Sancho, DZAR.
Good morning, sir. Para po kay Attorney Matibag. Sir, sinabi po ni Senator Amy, according daw po sa NBI agents na nakausap nila, na inutusan daw po sila ni President Bongbong Marcos directly at personally to arrest Senator Bato at all costs. Sino po, at kahit sino pa po ang mamatay, kahit sino pa ang madali, basta pasukin po si Bato, ngayon din, end of quote. Would you like to comment?
Opo, unang-una po, sino po kaya yung NBI agent na kausap niya? Kasi kung nagre-refer po siya dun sa nahuli na driver, hindi po NBI agent yun, po. At pangalawa po, na mas importante, wala pong naging ganong utos si Pangulo. Sa totoo po, ang utos po ni Pangulo, through Secretary Eric Bida, wala tayong gagawing pag-aresto o mga pagpasok sa Senado po, sapagkat inirerespeto nga po natin ang prosesong nangyayari po sa Korte Suprema. Katunayan po, yung pong aking strict instruction sa mga NBI po na ipinadala po sa GSIS, na kahit makita si Senator Bato, just monitor at tingnan po kung ano bang yayari. Wala pong pang-aresto. Kaya hindi ko po alam kung saan po nanggagaling ang ating pumbutuing Senator Ivy Marcos. Po.
And in another video po na pinost niya, she mentioned na sinabi daw ng NBI agent na ang utos daw ay galing kay NBI Organized and Transnational Crime Division's Chief Attorney Jerome Bomediano po sa kanilang operations po.
Well, unang-una po, si Jerome Bomediano is, yan po, I can confirm na he is a member of the Bureau. Pero wala nga po siya ron sa operation. Birthday po niya ng anak kahapon. At kami po, ang buong NBI family, nandoon po lang kami sa katabi ng opisina namin, na kami po nagkakaroon po ng planning, catch-up plan po, mula po kahapon hanggang bukas po ng Biyernes. Kaya mabuti po siguro si Senator Ivy po, tanungin natin at ipakita po ang ebidensya kung saan po nanggaling. Kami naman po sa Bureau, bukas po kami sa investigasyon. At katunayan, sinabi ko nga po kay General Natates, yung mga identify po na ating pong ahente na pumasok sa GSIS, ay amin pong isusumite sa isang malayang investigasyon po ng Philippine National Police po.
Last question on my part, ma'am. This morning po, nag-post po si Senator Amy ng letter addressed to the President And sinabi niya dito that in view of the serious allegations and without prejudging the outcome of any investigation, I respectfully urge the following officials to be temporarily relieved from their duties pending the completion of a full, impartial, and independent inquiry. NBI Director Attorney Melvin Matibag, NBI National Capital Region Chief Attorney Emeterio Dongallo Jr., and NBI Organized and Transnational Crimes Division Chief Attorney Bomediano po. Would you like to comment, sir?
Well, that is the prerogative of the good senator. Pero tayo naman po, nagsisilbi po tayo sa pleasure po ng ating appointing authority at kung ano po yung mandatong ibinigay po sa atin. At ako naman po, nakasisiguro po kayo at nakita nyo naman, wala po namang pagkilos ang NBI na hindi po sumunod sa batas at sa proseso. So, yun lang po yung masasabi ko dyan.
Sunod na tanong mula kay Harley Balvena, IBC 13.
Hi, sirs. Sir, just in case ma-confirm natin na nakaalis na talaga si Bato sa Senado, ano po yung magiging immediate response natin? Magkakaroon ba tayo ng, sorry for the term, manhunt operation?
Siguro po, ang iintayin muna natin kung ano talaga yung nangyari doon, kung nakaalis na po talaga si Senator Bato. Pero just the same, there will be an interagency collaboration with the PNP, NBI, the law enforcement agencies, ang DOJ po, ang PCTC, at syempre po always in coordination with the Office of the President bago po tayo makapagbigay ng talagang pahayag na sigurado pong gagawin.
PNP Chief Natates. Sir, can the Philippine National Police under your leadership ensure that no special treatment will be given to Senator Ronald Bato del Rosa, who is a former PNP chief?
Wala po tayong special treatment yan. We implement the law without fear or favor. And the Philippine National Police ay, of course, for any eventuality, arrest or whatsoever, we are always preparing ourselves para ma-improve ang ating operation and back up by strong collaboration with the concerned agencies, especially the Department of Justice in cases of warrant of arrest. And of course, in different law enforcement agencies.
Okay, sunod na tanong mula kay Ivy Reyes, Bilyonaryo.
Hi, good morning po, PNP Chief. From your professional experience and capacity as PNP Chief, how would you assess the direction of the gunshots? Kasi po yung direction ay medyo mataas, tapos sa glass door, and it's just one location, sir.
Okay. Mahirap mag-speculate, but of course, let's just wait for the result of the investigation. Lalong-lalo na we are accounting more than hundreds of testimonies of witnesses, whether witnesses and or yung hindi involved doon na nakakita. And different physical evidence na nandun. And actually, hindi ko pa nakita yung kanilang yung ginawa ng SOCO. Meron silang reconstruction doon. Okay, so we'll update the media and the public about the result of this investigation.
Director Matibag, may we know why the last-minute request of GSIS? Kasi 5 p.m. po nag-request, 6 p.m. po kayo dumating. What's the urgency po?
Mamaybi, no? It's a good question. Actually, nung Monday pa lang po, meron na po kaming presence doon, verbal communication po sa kanya. Tapos early on, nag-verbal communication. But mas maganda, nagpadala na rin po siya ng sulat for our record purposes kasi nasa labas po ako ng opisina noon para po duman doon sa proper channeling po bago po makarating sa akin.
Sunod na tanong mula kay Tuesday New, DCWB.
Good afternoon, sirs. General Natates, sir, how soon po na mailalabas at least yung initial result of investigation para maisubmit din nyo kay Presidente at malaman niya yung chronology of events? Yun po kasi yung mahalaga dito sa nangyaring ito dahil sa lumalabas na iba't ibang mga narratives. So, binigyan po ba kayo ng deadline ni Presidente para at least makakuha niya yung initial report?
Okay. Sinabi ng ating Presidente, of course, pagka nag-iimbestiga ang isang law enforcement agency and especially in solution of a case, and in this case, an incident na nagkaroon ng exchange of gunfire or nakarinig ng gunfire, kasi hindi natin masabi pa if there is an exchange of gunfire, because pag sinabi mong exchange of gunfire ay nagkatutukan and or the bullets are geared towards you. So, yun ang tinitignan natin sa katulad ng sinabi ng ating kapatid dito na kung ang appreciation is staged ba or nagkaputukan na magkasakitan. So, we are doing that. And I'm enforcing all the resources, necessary resources to speed up and resolve this incident.
Thank you, sir. To Director Matibag, sir, sabi niyo kanina, we have yet to verify kung nakaalis na nga ba talaga si Senator Bato sa premise ng Senado. With the presence of technology po ngayon, ini-expect po ng taong bayan na mabilis niyong mabe-verify yan. Pwede namang makipag-coordinate ka agad sa NAIA kasi may mga information din na sinasabi, possibly baka makalabas ng bansa. So, how soon po natin na ma-verify itong information na ito?
Well, today, unang-una natin tatanungin siyempre yung mga nandoon sa Senado. That's why I'm directing that the question should be addressed to probably the Secretary General of the Senate or the Sergeant of Arms of Senate. Kasi sabi mo nga yung technology, hindi po ba? So definitely there are CCTV footages na pwedeng makita po kung kumaalis po siya ron. Yun naman pong tanong tungkol sa MIA po, sa airport kung may mga dumaan doon, we will also follow that lead. So titingnan din po natin lahat yan. Ano po?
And ito po ba ay malalaman sa loob ng araw na ito din?
Palagay ko naman po. Kasi yung kung pagtatanong pa lang po doon sa Senado, baka hindi na po natin kailanganin yung mga technology. We just have to ask the Secretary General. Siguro po, kaya ko po binabanggit to, if you recall, sinabi po ng mga senador that Senator Bato is under their protective custody, di po ba? At yun po yung naging consideration ng NBI kung bakit hindi po namin ituloy yung paghuli. Meaning, nung sinabi mo pong under protective custody, meron po akong sinabing statement noon na sana pagkakailanganing iharap si Senator Bato sa isang mang korte o kung saan mang ahensya na kailangan siyang humarap, ang Senado po ang may karapatan o ibig sabihin sila yung may responsibilidad po na iharap po si Senator Bato.
Thank you po. Sunod na tanong mula kay Christian Yusores, DZMM.
Good morning, sirs. Were you able to attend po yung meeting with the President this morning? Sir Melvin and Sir Tartates.
Opo, meron po kaming pagpupulong. Nagkaroon po ng pag-uulat sa nangyari po kahapon.
And ano po yung mga may naging bilin po ba ang Presidente or instructions moving forward after the incident last night?
Meron po, siguraduhin ng investigasyon ay makatotohanan at parehas at lumabas kung sino talaga ang mga may pagkukulang at kung ano talaga ang may mga pananagutan at siguraduhin tawagin at pananagutin yung mga taong may dapat panagutan sa pangyayari pong ito.
And then, one last na lang po. Dahil vine-verify pa natin kung talagang nakalabas na ng Senate si Senator Bato, just in case po na talagang na-verify natin na he's already out of the Senate premises, haharangin po ba ng authorities natin si Senator Bato just in case lalabas siya ng bansa or nasa mga exit point siya ng bansa?
Pagkatapos po siguro nitong pagpupulong namin na to, we will call for our interagency coordination kasama po ang DOJ para po mas malinaw po na direksyon. Yung pong katanungan niyo, pasensya na po because baka beyond the pay grade po namin ni General Nartates. Ano po?
Thank you.
Sunod na tanong mula kay Rafi Ayeng, Daily Tribune.
Hi sir, isa po sa mga tanong na tinatanong ng ating mga kababayan, can you identify po kung sino yung senador na allegedly nagsakay kay Senator Bato papasok ng Senate building?
Meron naman na pong kaming official report pero if you will allow, siguro po ako makikiusap to head into suspension muna na ilabas namin. Masyado na pong maraming kaguluhan pero kayo naman po by process of elimination ay makikita nyo na po kung sino nagsakay. Kaya nga po, meron kaming report pero mas mabuti po sana na ang OSAA po will share the footages of CCTV mula po sa parking lot at hanggang sa lumabas. So we are been requesting po na ipakita yon dahil yung nangyari po nung Lunes, ang nakita lang po natin yung habulan na sa hagdanan eh. Yung pong pagpasok mula sa parking hanggang makarating doon sa hagdanan, hindi po natin nakikita eh. So baka pagka matanong din natin po sa Senado na baka pwedeng mabigyan po tayo ng kopya para makita natin kung kanino pong sasakyan na sumakay. Although, narinig ko po may admission na si Senate President na sa kanya sumakay. Well, mas maganda po talaga makita natin po yung CCTV, ano po.
And sir, yun nga, sa ginawang allegedly nga na pagtakas ni Senator Bato na sa Senado ngayon, ano po ang repercussion nun na para sa kanya? Kasi, di ba may warrant of arrest siya sa ICC. Ano po kaya ang magiging repercussion nun sa kaso niya?
Baka po yung katanungan, it's rather the DOJ will answer it. Although I'm a lawyer, yung aking pong sagot will not para magkaroon ng bearing po sa usapin dahil right now I'm here as the director of the NBI, which is a law enforcement agency po.
Thank you.
Sunod na tanong mula kay Kenneth Pasyente, PTV4.
Hi sirs, good morning po. Sir, tanong lang, are we also, iimbestigahan din po ba natin yung mga senador na posibleng tumulong kay Senator Ronald Bato de la Rosa na makatakas, if ever man po, na makumpirma na wala na nga po siya sa Senado?
May mga records naman po lahat yan. And again, we will defer that decision to the Department of Justice, ano po, because that is a legal issue. So, salamat po.
Sunod na tanong mula kay Maricar Sargan, Brigada.
Sir, good morning. Balikan ko lang po ulit yung detalye doon po sa napaulat na putukan. Kasi nabanggit kanina ni Yusek Claire Castro na ang nagpaputok ay yung USAA after na kumprontahin ng NBI. Kumusta ho yung NBI agent ninyo, sir? And ano pa po yung dagdag na detalye regarding dito?
Unang-una po, nung nagkaroon po ng putukan na ganun, yung NBI po, nag-warning shot din po. Yun ang recollection sa akin. Pero after mag-warning shot, doon na po nagkaroon ng maraming pagputok na nanggaling po sa tapos yung ating pong NBI agent, umalis na po ron sa lugar, tumakbo na po. May kasama po siyang blue guard eh. So pares na po silang umalis. Okay naman po, pero ako po ay holding him para po madala po namin sa NBI yung kanyang firearms, pati po siya para po magkaroon po ng maayos na investigasyon po ang PNP po.
May information na po ba kung ilan yung shots? Ilang putok po ba yung...
Yes, sabi po ng NBI, ang recollection niya parang 6 na warning shot yung kanyang pinuputok and yun po yung sinasabi niya. So, iimbestigahan din po ng PNP po yan.
Thank you, sir.
Huling tanong mula kay Eileen Taliping, Abante.
Sir, good afternoon po. Kung sakaling napatunayan na nakalabas na si Senator Bato sa Senado, may pananagutan ba ang mga senador, lalo na yung nag-commit ng protective custody sa kanya?
Again, yan po ipoproseso po ng ating pong Department of Justice. They're the primary department to lead this. Pero ang sinasabi ko lang po, for my point of view, nung amin pong iniatras yung paghuli ng NBI, hindi po ibig sabihin ay hindi na namin na-arrestoin. Pero ang ibig sabihin po nun, nirirespeto namin po yung sinabi ng Senado na under protective custody. As a lawyer, I will speak na pag sinabing under protective custody mo, ibig sabihin, ikaw ang responsable na ilabas yung tao pag hiningi po sa'yo. Yan po yung mga nasa rules of court naman po yan. Ano po?
Kaya nga sir, cargo mo pero nakawala sa'yo. So anong magiging repercussion yan kung sakali?
Well, kung meron pong mga pagtatanong at paglilitis, then evidence pa rin po eh. Magkakaroon pa rin po ng evidence. Medyo mahaba pa pong usapin na rin po yun. Ang nasasabi ko lang po ngayon kung ano po yung nangyari na, yun po yung pwede nating masabi po.
Thank you.
Salamat Malacanang Press Corps. Balik sa iyo, Yusek Claire.
Magkakaroon lamang po tayo ng karagdagang katanungan. Kanina po ay nabanggit at natanong sa inyo kung ilang putok at nabanggit niyo po ay mula sa NBI agent. So after that, na nagkaroon din ng warning shot, nag-start ang USAA ng warning shot. At after that, nag-warning shot din ng NBI agent. At pagkatapos nun sabi niyo, marami ng putok ang nangyari. Kanino galing yung putok after ng warning shot ng NBI agent?
So, ulat po sa akin ng aming ahente ay nanggaling po lahat sa miyembro po ng USAA po. Marami po sila.
Mga ilang putok po yung naitala sa kanilang pagkakaalala?
Basta marami po. Hindi, mahirap po kasi sunod-sunod na po na putok yung nangyari based on the report po na binigay po sa akin.
General Natates, meron po kayong info?
Sa tingin ko po, not less than 30. But of course, we are investigating...
not less than 30? 30, sir?
Not less than 30. Because it will be quantified dun sa CCTVs. CCTVs as well as empty shells that are recovered during the SOCO operation, as well as yung mga naalis pa. Why? Because doon sa CCTV, makikita naman natin doon may nagpulot ba ng basyo. Hindi natin ma-account. So we are fully accounting it.
Sir, yung tinatanong kanina ni Ivy, yung putok ba ay galing sa, tama ba, yung direction? Oo. Galing ba from the Senate o galing from the GSIS premises?
Okay. The barrier na nandun is pintuan, but close na yon. Yun yung kaninang nagsasabi ng drilling. Kaya dun sa drilling, dun sa pinto na yon is naglagay ng bolt. So that is a fact. And then hinarangan ng mga steel cabinets para hindi makapasok doon sa premises ng GSIS coming from the Senate and vice versa. And the other one is yung salamin. Beside that is an exit door going to the bridge, going to a canteen in GSIS. And of course, kakausapin natin ng GSIS and Senate. What is the purpose of this exit door going, a bridge going dun sa, malapit dun sa, is it a barrier? Ayan na mismo ba yung ating boundary? Kailangan mag-usap sila or kailangan imbestigahan sila kung nag-uusap ba sila. Is there an evacuation plan? Is there fire evacuation plan? And the purpose of this door at saka bridgeway. And beside that is the window. The window is hold with bullets. Okay, so hindi ko maano yung but initial appreciation of that is the bullets came from inside.
Inside a Senate.
Inside the Senate.
Okay, thank you very much. Attorney Matibag, sabi niyo po, kinausap po kayo no May 11 regarding protective custody. Sino po ang nakausap tungkol sa protective custody?
Yes, you're referring po siguro doon sa nangyari nung Monday.
May 11, yes sir.
Opo, nangyari po kasi noon, nung arestuhin namin, tapos 7:30 yata po yun, narinig ko na nag-motion si Senator Marcoleta na file ng resolution to put Senator Bato into protective custody. Nung narinig ko po yun, nagkonsulta po ako kila Secretary Bida na sinabi ko, siguro hindi na muna natin arestuhin in deference also and in respect to the Senate. Pero ang nangyari po, nung pinapo-pull out ko na po yung amin pong arresting team, yung pong binanggit na pangalan na gustong ipasuspinde, yung NCR po namin, hinarang po sila sa baba, gusto silang i-detain. So, minabuti ko po na tumawag kay SecGen Dong Mendoza para kausapin, mag-negotiate na total we're pulling out, baka naman pwede nang palabasin kami. So, ginawa ko po, pumasok po ako sa Senado expecting to talk to Senate President Alan Peter Cayetano. Nung pagpasok ko po sa pintuan, andun po si Senator Ivy, Senator Pia Cayetano, Senator Loren, Senator Mark Villar, Senator Marcoleta initially, tapos dumating po Senator Jinggoy and Senator Bongo. So, dun sabi ko, hindi na naman kami mag-aaresto. Ang purpose na lang po namin, palabasin yung mga ahente. So, nung una, yung po nilang pumayag. So, until nagkasundo po kami na to release them na ako po yung mamamahala at magkaroon kami ng parallel investigation sa nangyari. So, nung in-interview po ako, doon ko po sinabi yon na yung protective custody, we are expecting na dahil nasa Senado na, sinabi nila yan, it means that they are responsible doon sa pagkatao ni Senator Bato at kung may mga ilangan na siya humarap, dapat ang Senado ang magbibigay. At nabanggit ko rin naman po yan sa amin pong pagpupulong.
At lumalabas naman po talaga na nabigyan ng Senado ng protective custody.
Well, opo, kaya nga po nandirito siguro at nagkagulo dahil ang iniisip nila yung amin pong ginagawang pag-secure ng GSIS premises at ng mga tao po ron, iniisip nila na huhulihin namin. Dahil gaya po ng sinasabi nyo, maaga pa lang, parang nung nalaman po nila na walang TRO na in-issue yung Supreme Court, ang naging thinking is uhulihin po si Senator Bato.
So sa inyong pagkakaalam, since may protective custody, sabi nyo ang Senado ang may responsibilidad para sa location, if ever, ni Senator Bato.
Yes, nabanggit ko po yan doon sa pagpupulong namin privado. At the same time, publicly, sinabi rin po natin yan.
So kung talagang wala na, according to some sources, confirmed daw na wala na Senator Bato sa Senado. Ano po ang mararamdaman nyo since kayo po yung nakipag-usap sa Senado?
Well, malungkot po yan dahil I feel that dapat yung aming pong usapan dyan, it should be honored po yan eh. Dahil ako naman po naniniwala na ang ating mga senador, mga kagalang-galang po nating senador, sila po humingi ng ganon at ang pagkakalam naman natin, puproteksyonan nila hindi lamang po si Senator Bato, kundi yung pong ating mismong mga batas at konstitusyon na umiiral.
Katulad ng binanggit po ni Ivan, kung merong pagtingin yung iba mga kababayan natin na mukhang stage ang commotion na ginawa para palabasin si Senator Bato, meron po ba kayong ganong naulinigan?
Well, I will be very honest, Yusek Claire, no? That's the sentiment of our NBI agents. Kasi nandoon kami, of course, hindi na rin lang para sa seguridad ng GSIS, kundi yung amin na rin mandato na siguraduhin na isang tao na may mandato de aresto ay malaman namin kung saan pupunta. Lalong-lalo na, nakita naman natin, 6 na buwan din nagtago mula nung nabalitang may waran. So, isa na po sa aming tinitingnan yon. Kaya naman po, doon sa ibang mga katanungan tungkol doon, ang sinasabi ko lang, we will always defer to the judgment of the Department of Justice dahil sila po yung primerong ahensya na namumuno po rito.
Maraming salamat sa ating NBI Director Attorney Melvin Matibay and of course PNP Chief General Jose Melencio Nartat. Matibay kasi. Okay.
Nagsasabi po ng matibay, kilala ko po yan, Mama.
Ano po ba? Ulitin po natin. Take 2. Okay. Maraming salamat kay NBI Director Attorney Melvin Matibag at PNP Chief General Jose Melencio Nartates Jr. At tandaan po natin, ang bagong Pilipino ay para sa katotohanan at hindi para sa pagko-cover up. At dito po nagtatapos ang ating press briefing.
The Senate President is present.
With 24 senators or every single senator present, I hope this continues. The chair declares the presence of a quorum. Majority Leader.
Yes, Mr. President.
For that, Majority Leader.
Before we recognize the distinguished lady from Taguig and Pateras, may I just be allowed, Mr. President, to greet some guests from the gallery, guests of Senator Pangilinan, Governor Ann Hofer of Zamboanga, Sibugay, Greens for Good and Farm Forward Initiatives, farmers from Benguet, guests of Senator Ejercito, Motorcycle Taxi Community, led by its chairperson, Romeo Maglunsod, and guests of our dear Senate President Alan Cayetano, Mr. Elijah Easy Johnson, Manila Champion, Red Bull Dance Your Style, representative from Taguig. We welcome them to this August chamber, Mr. President.
We recognize your presence and welcome you to the Philippine Senate.
Thank you, Mr. President. Senator Pia Cayetano is seeking the floor. May I move that she be recognized, Mr. President?
What is the pleasure of the lady from Taguig and Pateros?
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, very briefly, I rise for a short manifestation, which is very personal to me. Our rules are very clear, and every member of this chamber is expected to observe decorum, respect, and fairness towards one another. This is the foundation of parliamentary democracy and collegiality in this institution. And this is what the public deserves, for us to act with respect towards one another. As public officials, we are also bound by the Code of Conduct for Public Officials. And our civil code also requires that everyone acts with justice, gives everyone his due, and observe honesty and good faith. I would like to believe that in my 20 years, almost 20 years in the Senate, I have conducted myself with respect towards my colleagues regardless of political differences. Mr. President, today, a public statement was made by our colleague, Senator Ping Lacson, which was also posted in his YouTube page, suggesting that my vehicle was used to assist Senator De La Rosa in entering the Senate premises, which I quote, "Ang pagkakaalam ko, at least silang dalawa lang mag-ate, Cayetanos, ang nakakaalam tungkol kay Bato na darating. Dahil ang pagkakaalam ko, nakasakay si Bato sa kotse ni Senator Pia." Before I proceed, welcome, Senator Bato. I am happy na nakapasok ka. Wala akong problema na nakarating ka. But Mr. President, I go back. Sinabi man niya na sa pagkakaalam niya, ang katanungan ko po, Mr. President, nag-abala ba kayo mag-double check? Bago niyo yan sinabi sa public. Because despite that qualification, the statement was publicly conveyed in a manner that created the impression that I was directly involved in facilitating Senator De La Rosa's entry into the Senate premises. Again, okay lang po sa akin na nakarating siya dito. Wala ho akong problema doon. Let me state this clearly and unequivocally. That statement is false. Senator De La Rosa did not ride in my vehicle, nor did I have anything to do with facilitating his presence in the Senate last Monday. Hindi ko nga alam na darating siya. Nalaman ko lang na darating siya dahil ang minority floor leader na kapatid ko tumayo dyan, and he addressed the Senate President and nagpasalamat siya sa public service ng Senate President, Senator Tito Soto, which I also believe is well-deserved. Sinabi niya na maganda ang pakitungaan sa kanya ni Senate President Tito Soto. And then sinabi niya na we have the numbers and Senator Bato is present. Nagulat din ako. Katabi ko si Lawrence, ako, nagulat ako, wala akong idea. Hindi ko alam kung nasan siya, hindi ko alam na malapit na siya. I have no idea kung nasan siya. So kung paano nadamay ang kotse ko is a mystery to me, dear colleagues, and the public. In fact, Senator Kiko can attest, you saw me downstairs sa basement dahil pareho kami dyan madalas dumaan at sabi niya pa sa akin, oh, dito kayo nagdidiskusyon ng staff mo, hindi na dun sa hagdanan dahil ilang beses ko na siya naharangan sa hagdanan, sa hallway na napakakitid, na nagdidiskusyon with my staff. Sabi ko, oo nga, haba ng mga diskusyon namin. Siguro naman kung dala ko si Senator Bato, medyo kinakabakabahan ako na makita ako dun ni Senator Kiko, di ba? So, it is a mystery to me. Paano ako nadamay at yung sasakyan ko? If the gentleman wanted to know paano nakarating si Senator Kiko, then why not ask him? Sorry, Senator Bato, kung paano nakarating si Senator Bato, then ask him. Or ask the now Senate President, who was the one who said that nandyan na siya. Wala ko talaga akong alam. So, Mr. President, a false public imputation, whenever made, is exactly what the above-mentioned rules were designated to prevent. Unverified allegations about a colleague falls below the standard of professionalism that is demanded of public officials. Magulo na nga ang mundo, magulo na ang Pilipinas, wag na nating dagdagan. Don't say things about your colleagues that are not true. I trust that under the leadership of my brother, Alan Peter Cayetano, whom I know, not just as a public servant, but as my younger brother, this chamber will conduct itself with sobriety, fairness, and respect for the truth and respect for one another. Mr. Senate President, I will keep this manifestation short. Napakarami pa hong trabaho. Mag-aaral pa ako para sa hearing ko on the rising prices of electricity. Mag-aaral pa ako to support our colleagues who will be the next chairperson of the Committee on Health, the Committee on Energy, at napakarami pa ho nating trabaho kailangan gawin. So I leave that as it is, and I hope that this will not be repeated again. Thank you.
Senator Marcoleta, can we give way to Senator Lacson since
Thank you, Mr. President.
Go ahead, Senator Marcoleta.
Senator,
Thank you, Mr. President.
Yeah. Can we give
magtatanong lang sana ako, Mr. President, kay Senator Pia. Mga ilang tanong.
Will Senator Lacson also interpolate?
This is just very short.
A manifestation.
Pero
Senator
Mr. President,
Marcoleta,
ako po nakatayo na rito bago pa siya tumayo. Siguro po, kung
would you
sino
allow
yung unang
me,
tumayo.
Senator Lacson, just because he was first, but he was mentioned, so I am in the quandary of who of the two gentlemen will give way. Yeah.
May I, Mr. President?
Yeah. Senator Marcoleta, may I ask you this personal favor since the gentleman was mentioned?
Sige po, mas matanda naman siya sa akin eh.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Senator Lacson is recognized.
I want to put it on record that I sincerely apologize to our distinguished colleague, Senator Pia Cayetano. That information was relayed to me by a fairly reliable source, no? And if that was a mistake, then I sincerely apologize. I thought I made that public statement because I thought it was just a very not really a serious matter, but because maski saan sumakay si Senator Bato, as everybody
would agree, it is of no moment. No? Sa amin siguro, kung malaman namin kay Senator Ligardo pa nakasakay, baka doon pa kami magkaroon ng issue. Pero maski kanino pa siyang nakasakay na sasakyan, lalo na from the majority, sa tingin ko wala naman pong problema, walang issue. Kaya parang isip ko, okay lang yung i-share ko yung information that I received from, ang sabi ko, from a fairly reliable source. Now, if it is false, then, or even if it is not false, then I sincerely apologize, Mr. President.
Well, Senator Pia said that she will leave it at that, so I will not refer it to any committee. Senator Lacson apologized, you accepted. If I may just interject that it might seem innocent, Senator Lacson, but to those who are commenting, they think it's a crime, even because people got confused with the timeline, that when he got here, we didn't know there was an ICC warrant and everything. I told the media after my sister speaks, sa akin siya nakasakay, and I did not tell my sister, and I did not tell many of the members in the majority that he will attend. Ang sabi ko lang, please be there. Senator Marcoleta.
Mr. President, tatanong ko lang po sana kay Sen. Pia, kung halimbawa po ako'y nakisakay sa kanyang sasakyan, siya po ba o ako'y nakagawa ng isang krimen dito sa ating bansa?
Sa akin lang po, kung kahit sino sa mga kasamahan natin dito na they need a ride, na nangyari na yon. Minsan may event tayo, sumasakay ako sa kotse ni Senator Mig Subiri, nakasakay na rin ako sa kotse ni Senator Loren, nakasakay na rin ako sa kotse ni Senator Angara. Sino pa sa inyo hindi nagbibigay sa akin ng ride? I would be happy to give a colleague a ride. But I'm just saying, that's why I had to repeat na I don't have an issue with Senator Bato arriving in the Senate. I have an issue with the aspersion of malice na parang patago kong pinarating dito na gamit ang kotse ko na walang katotohanan. Kaya to answer your question, wala naman hong masama doon.
Yun nga po eh. Siya na rin po ang umamin na wala naman pong masama, ay ba't kinakailangan pong gawan pa po ng post yun? Pangalawa pong tanong, Mr. President, Senator Pia, kung halimbawa po ginawa ko yun, nakisakay ako sa inyo, dahil meron lang akong gustong pagtaguan, hindi po ba napagtitibay natin, nakasabihan nating mga Pilipino, at nakuha ko naman talagang magtago dahil nakisakay nga ako sa inyo. Hindi ba napatunayan natin ang isang kasabihan, Mr. President, Senator Pia, na nagtatali-talinuhan ng matsing, nauutakan pa rin. Salamat po, Mr. President.
Mr. President, this is not a response to Senator Marcoleta some questions or statements, but I just also want to put on record na yung tinatanggap ko po yung apology ni Senator Lacson. Wala akong problema sa akin yon. Kaya lang po, ako'y nakikiusap sa lahat ng kasamahan natin na mag-ingat naman tayo sa statements because these are very troubling times. Everybody's so sensitive. Kung sino yung kakampi mo, lahat na ng ginawa niya tama. Kung sino yung kagalit mo, lahat na ng ginawa niya mali. So why would you make a statement that would arouse angry feelings or questions about my credibility or about anything that would create any negative implication on your fellow senator? Sana po wag ganon. Yun lang sasabihin ko. Sana walang ganon. Kasi kung wala namang intensyon, di wag na lang sabihin, di ba? Yun lang naman po ang sa akin. Thank you very much.
Yes, emotions are high, but we are all called to a higher calling. We all have sentiments. I don't think it will be stopped. It will come out in the next few weeks depending on the issue. Having said that, as Senator Pangilinan said yesterday, maraming issue, kailangan tumutok. For the record, sa kotse ko sumakay si Senator Bato, as he said. When I talked to him and said, how can I go in the Senate? I was aghast. Senador ka bakit problemang pumasok ka? But naisip ko yung commercial ni Amang Parika, yung sabi, sumakay ka pa. Kaya sabi ko, sa akin ka na sumakay. That's why it's so obvious that I knew he was here because when I spoke earlier. Having said that, an apology was made, an explanation was made, so move on from that. Senator Marcoleta, because you gave in to my request, I'm listed as first in the privilege speech. You're second. I will ask you if you want to go first.
Thank you, Mr. President, and I rise on a question of personal and collective privilege.
Senator Marcoleta is recognized.
The sponsors of Senate Resolution number 395, four of whom, despite differences, I have my respects, except for one, Mr. President, are urging Senator Ronald De La Rosa to voluntarily surrender to the peoples of the proper authorities and seek judicial remedies in accordance with the Constitution and applicable laws and rules. Mr. President, I respectfully oppose this resolution on the ground that the moment Senator De La Rosa surrenders, he will be immediately brought outside Philippine territory and deprived of the protection and remedies of Philippine laws and courts. To surrender Senator De La Rosa is to effectively surrender Philippine sovereignty itself. The International Criminal Court Pretrial Chamber 1, Mr. President, has confirmed that it issued a warrant of arrest against Senator De La Rosa on November 6, 2025. It unsealed the warrant only on May 11, 2026. The warrant orders the arrest and surrender of Senator De La Rosa under Article 102 of the Rome Statute. To surrender Senator De La Rosa is to deliver him to the custody of the ICC in the Netherlands, a foreign jurisdiction where Philippine laws have no force and Philippine courts can do nothing. While the sponsors pretend that they want Senator De La Rosa surrendered to authorities in the Philippines, in reality, they want him handcuffed, dragged to the airport, dumped on a plane, and banished to the clutches of the ICC in the Netherlands. While the sponsors claim they want Senator De La Rosa to avail of Philippine judicial remedies, in reality, they want him removed from territorial jurisdiction of the Philippine courts and therefore deprived of the rights and remedies that every Filipino enjoy under our laws and constitutional protection of due process. In fact, Mr. President, if the sponsors will have their way, Senator De La Rosa is transported to the Netherlands. The constitutional issues now pending before the Philippine Supreme Court will become moot and academic. The Philippine Supreme Court will be ousted of jurisdiction and prevented from fulfilling its constitutional mandate. There will be no end to this constitutional crisis, for in the years to come, the ICC, with much delight, will pick us up one by one, Mr. President. Only the Supreme Court, Mr. President, can stop this nonsense. The sponsors of Senate Resolution number 395 cited the service of warrants of arrest on the late former Senator Juan Ponce Enrile, former Senators Laila de Lima, and former Senator Antonio Trillanes. But please take note, Mr. President, they did not mention that their co-sponsor, Panfilo Lacson, evaded service of arrest warrant. The sponsors acknowledged that the late former Senator Enrile, former Senator De Lima, and former Senator Trillanes were all subjected to arrest warrants issued by local courts. For the record, Mr. President, all of them have exercised their rights under Philippine laws and availed of Philippine judicial remedies. Yet the sponsors are blind to the peculiar situation of Senator De La Rosa. Unlike the late Senator Enrile et al., who face arrest warrants issued by Philippine courts, Senator De La Rosa is facing an arrest warrant issued by the ICC, a foreign court which jurisdiction the Philippines does not recognize anymore. Moreover, unlike the former Senator Enrile et al., who availed of the rights and remedies of Philippine laws and courts, Senator De La Rosa will be deprived of all this, as he will be banished to foreign land on the other side of the planet, beyond the reach of Philippine laws, and forever detached from his family and constituents. Therefore, if the sponsors are sincere in their desire that Senator De La Rosa be accorded the same rights and remedies as those enjoyed by Senator Enrile et al., they should not allow his surrender to the ICC. They should instead withdraw Resolution Number 395. The sponsors recognize that under Republic Act 9851, it is the regional trial court that has exclusive original jurisdiction over offenses constituting crimes against humanity. This statement of the sponsors reinforces the position of the majority that the ICC warrant of arrest should not be implemented against Senator De La Rosa, and he must remain under the Senate custodial protection under the ICC arrest until the ICC arrest is quashed by Philippine court. First, Section 18 of RA 9851 provides that it is the Philippine Regional Trial Court that has exclusive original jurisdiction over crimes against humanity. Section 17 allows the transfer of jurisdiction to a foreign court only by way of extradition and provided by the Philippine court, provided the Philippine court is unable to try and decide the case. Therefore, RA 9851 itself bars the ICC from taking jurisdiction the acts attributed to Senator De La Rosa. Kagaya po ng nasabi ko na kahapon, Mr. President, wala po tayong extradition treaty sa ICC. At wala na po tayong membership sa Rome Statute sapagkat nag-withdraw na po tayo. Sa makatid, wala na pong treaty. Yun po ay nakasaad sa Article 17 ng 9851. Second, at the United Nations, the Philippine government, through the permanent representative, pronounced that the state policy under RA 9851, Philippine courts have the exclusive jurisdiction over crimes against humanity. It also declared that Philippine courts have the competence and capacity to try and decide these cases. Kung ganun po pala, this is the national policy already articulated even before the halls of the United Nations. Bakit pinipilit pa natin na iserve ang isang warrant of arrest na hindi na natin kinikilala ang jurisdiction ng lintig na ICC na yan? Hence, the Philippine state policy is to assert and exercise local jurisdiction rather than recognize foreign jurisdiction such as that of the ICC. Third, the Philippine government has assumed and exercised local jurisdiction under RA 9851 over the crimes arising from extrajudicial killings allegedly committed by Senator De La Rosa. Philippine local jurisdiction already set in when Senator De La Rosa was served a subpoena by the CIDG in connection with its investigation of said extrajudicial killings. Senator De La Rosa has stated that he is ready to respond to the subpoena. It is of no moment, Mr. President, that today the CIDG withdrew the subpoena. It is a legal ruse. It's a legal legerdemain. Ang akala nila kung withdraw nila yung subpoena, wini-withdraw na yung case. No, Mr. President, the case is kicking and alive. It triggered already the jurisdiction of our National Prosecution Service and eventually the courts of this country. The crimes under investigation by the CIDG are the same crimes for which the ICC has issued a warrant, Mr. President. Under the principle of complementarity, said ICC arrest warrants can no longer be enforced because there is now a genuine domestic investigation and prosecution currently taking place in this country. The assumption of jurisdiction by Philippines over the acts attributed to Senator De La Rosa and the person of Senator De La Rosa automatically and absolutely bar the ICC from exercising jurisdiction over the same acts and on his person. These circumstances, and by reason of the principle of complementarity and the Rome Statute, strip the ICC, Mr. President, of its jurisdiction. Therefore, given that the sponsors themselves admit that under Republic Act number 9851, Philippine courts have exclusive original jurisdiction over the crimes for which the ICC has issued an arrest warrant against Senator De La Rosa, given that the Philippines have assumed jurisdiction over said crimes when it served the subpoena on Senator De La Rosa, and given that Senator De La Rosa will respond to the subpoena, said sponsors cannot but agree that the ICC warrant of arrest should not be enforced on the good senator. It should be borne in mind, Mr. President, that the protective custody granted to Senator De La Rosa is for the sole purpose of ensuring the following. First, that only Philippine warrant of arrest, not an ICC warrant of arrest, will be enforced against him. Second, upon service of Philippine arrest warrant, he shall enjoy all the rights and privileges granted by the Constitution and the laws of the Philippines. Third, that he can avail of all Philippine administrative and judicial remedies and processes. Fourth, he shall remain in Philippine territory where he can exhaust all said administrative and judicial remedies and processes. And finally, and most important of all, the jurisdiction that the Philippines has assumed over his alleged crimes under R8 9851 must be exercised to the total exclusion of the ICC. Finally, Mr. President, the sponsors of Senate Resolution number 395 question the constitutional and statutory basis of the resolution granting De La Rosa, Senator De La Rosa, the protective custody of the Senate. These purposes, Mr. President, are legitimate. They do not contravene any Philippine law. In fact, they ensure that the Philippine laws are respected and enforced in Philippine territory to the exclusion of the Rome Statute that the Philippines no longer recognize by reason of its withdrawal therefrom. The protective custody granted to Senator De La Rosa addresses not only an extraordinary threat to his liberty, but also an existential threat to the integrity of the Philippine Senate, and by extension, a grave peril to the independence of the Republic itself from foreign interference. It is a threat emanating from a source that the Philippine Constitution laws did not anticipate. A foreign entity, Mr. President, the ICC, which jurisdiction is not only questionable but also lost due to the Philippines' withdrawal from the Rome Statute. The protective custody addresses a threat whose profound ramifications include regime change and outright interference in the sovereign affairs of the Philippines. To give inroads to the ICC is to enable it to structurally alter the Philippine Senate and disenfranchise Filipino voters for the arrested senator will be rendered futile, whose votes for the arrested senator will be rendered futile and meaningless. The ICC will transform Philippine agencies as its own puppet and tools and hold hostage Philippine officials, civilian and military, against whom it can initiate prosecution anytime and in perpetuity. The Senate's custodial protection is born out of self-preservation, which is the first law of nature for both men and institution, Mr. President. The Philippine Senate has granted custodial protection to witnesses in order to ensure the continuity and integrity of its legislative hearings. It is with more reason that it can and should grant custodial protection to its members to enable them to discharge their mandate unmolested by a foreign entity like the ICC and its local tentacles and subalterns. The Philippine Senate and its members enjoy privileges and immunities under the Constitution and laws so that they may discharge their functions effectively, efficiently. Specific privileges and immunities were designed to address the usual disruption to these functions. However, they did not anticipate disruptions from a foreign source. Thus, a purposive interpretation of the Constitution and laws is necessary in order for the Philippine Senate to meet new forms and sources of challenges. For this reason, Mr. President, it adopted Resolution number 44 and implemented the same with respect to Senator De La Rosa. The Philippine Supreme Court did not also see it coming. It has to do its job and rise to the occasion, Mr. President. In the end, the dignity and integrity of the person of Senator De La Rosa as well as of any member of the Senate, including the sponsors, represent the dignity and integrity of the institution of the Philippine Senate vis-a-vis foreign interference. Resolution number 395 will weaken its dignity and in the process destroy its integrity as an institution that stands as the last bastion of democracy. Dapat lamang na ibasura ang resolution number 395. Maraming salamat po, Ginoong Pangulo.